Good morning everyone. Vanakkam, Namaskar, Sat Sri Akal, Adab. All the medical aspirants who have appeared for NEET 2020 and have not got into their dream colleges, don't worry, we have a golden opportunity for you guys. Come and join our repeater batch, which is going to be started from 5th of November 2020. And this batch is going to be up till your NEET 2021. We at Avatar are experienced faculties from all over India, and we are going to provide you the best coaching, the best material, what you need to make your dream come true in the top medical institutes of India. So come and join our hands and make your dream come true. All the best. Good evening everyone. How are you? Very good evening to all of you. So here we have come into another demo session part. So as we are mentioning over there, now the demo classes will be extended up till 9th, and the session for the repeater batch is going to start on the 10th November 2020. So there is an early bird registration discount for the students who are going to register before 10th and all. They will be getting 50% discount from the registration cost and all. Apart from that, if you have scored above 500, 600 in your NEET 2020, you will be having the maximum discount as per the program. So today we are going to talk about the immunology part. Already I have discussed with you in the previous demo classes. So today I will be analyzing some of the important questions from immunology, twisted questions from immunology. Okay, based on that we will try to analyze how are you going to have your thinking analyzed with your linking part. Okay, so NEET is, you have to just focus, again I am telling, on the NCERT books. Apart from NCERT books, you have to solve some kind of selected MCQ questions. Okay, so so make yourself prepared well with the hands of the expert and stay ahead. Okay, so we'll start with the quiz. So before we start with the Menti quiz, the code for the Menti quiz you can download. So the code is 5469590. Come on, join fast. The code is 5469590. Okay, we'll talk basically some part until the students are joining. So what is immunology? We have studied immunology. We are going to study in the immunology is a study of immune system. What is immune system? It is a system in a body which has help us to fight against the infection. Okay, what causes the infection? The disease causing microorganisms, the pathogen causes the infection. Okay, there are two type of immunity. One is by birth, innate immunity, it is non-specific, and one is acquired immunity, adaptive immunity. Okay, innate immunity, adaptive immunity. Innate is by birth, adaptive we are going to acquire after birth. One is specific, innate immunity is specific, adaptive is, innate immunity is non-specific, and adaptive immunity is going to be specific. Innate immunity, what are the barriers? We have the physical barrier, skin, yes, mucus, and in case of physiological barrier, tears, saliva. We have the cell-mediated barriers, the cytokines, and we have the cell-mediated barriers, we have the macrophages and all, and the cytokines are the cytokine barriers, where we have taught about the interferons. What is interferon? Interferons are the chemicals which are produced by the virus infected cells and give the signal to the non-infected cells against the infection. So this we have already done this part. In the acquired immunity, we have taught about the adaptive immunity. It is due to B lymphocyte and T lymphocyte. B lymphocyte provide humoral immunity and T lymphocyte provides cell-mediated immunity. The B lymphocyte is going to produce the antibodies. There are special cells in the B lymphocyte which are going to produce antibodies. These are the plasma cells. Okay, the plasma cells are going to produce the antibody. And then we have talked about there is very important that cell mediated immunity is responsible for graft rejection, and we have told about the structure of the antibody. It's a Y-shaped molecule which are joined together by disulfide bridges, and there are heavy chain, light chain. There are how many heavy chains are there? There are 2 heavy chains and 2 light chains. Both of this will have variable region and constant region. So all these things we have discussed. Then we have talked about what is the difference between vaccination and immunization. Yes, what is the difference between vaccination and immunization? In the vaccination, we are going to inject the antigen, and against the antigen, our body is going to produce the antibody. So this is a kind of, what kind of immunity? Active immunity. While when the antibodies are inserted, ready-made antibodies are inserted, that kind of immunity is called passive immunity. Yes, when the antigen comes in our body for the first time, that kind of immune response is called primary immune response, and the immune response going to be generated when the antigen is going to, for the second time it is going to come. The subsequent time it is going to be the secondary immune response. Which antibody is going to be produced in the primary immune response? IgM followed by IgG. But in case of secondary, we are going to have IgG more in amount than IgM. Okay, so we have talked about various concepts. Then we have talked about allergy. It is allergy is going to happen when the immune system cannot discriminate between self and non-self, and there is going to be exaggerated immune response is going to be there. So hypersensitivity is going to be there, and when the immune response is not able to recognize between self and non-self, it will lead to autoimmune disorder like rheumatoid arthritis. Yes. Then we have talked about the important part in this thing was regarding the primary lymphoid organs and secondary lymphoid organs. B lymphocyte and T lymphocytes are produced in the bone marrow and thymus, which are the primary lymphoid organ, and secondary lymphoid organs, which are which provides the environment for interaction of the antibodies with the antigen. Okay, so now let's start based on this important concepts. Okay, we will try to analyze how much you have this thing. So join fast, we are going to start the class. Okay, so let us start. Already we are running late. First question on your screen. MALT constitutes about how much % of the lymphoid tissue in the human body? MALT is going to constitute how much % of the human body? Very, very important question. NCERT based question only. Okay. There is a secondary lymphoid organ. In the secondary lymphoid organs, we have MALT, we have gall, we have tonsils, we have lymph nodes. Okay, which is going to constitute 50% of the lymphoid tissue in the human body. So the answer is good. The answer is MALT. MALT constitutes 50% of the lymphoid tissue in the human body. Let us see who have answered it the fastest. Okay. Good. Akash have answered it fastest. Sanjay, Divyashri, Satish, and Mr. G. Okay. Next question, students, on your screen. Which immunoglobulin is largest in size? Which immunoglobulin is largest in size? Is it IgM, IgA, IgE, or IgG? Which immunoglobulin is going to be largest in size? Okay. 9, 8, which immunoglobulin is going to be largest in size, students? Oh, only 2 people have answered it correctly. So you lack the concept here. Student, IgG is single, IgA, there are 2, dimer, it is a dimer, and IgM is going to be a pentamer. And when we are talking about this antibody, so antibody Y-shaped molecule, So 5 such antibodies are attached. 5 such antibodies are attached with the help of a J chain. With the help of a J chain. Remember this concept? 5 such antibodies are attached with the help of a, this chain is called J chain. Similar in the dimer also there will be a J chain. So these are how. So this is the structure of IgM. The total size of the antibody, the total size, one antibody size is 150 kilodalton. 150 kilodalton. Okay. Size of heavy chain 50 kilodalton. Size of light chain 25 kilodalton. There are two heavy chain 50, 50, 100. There are two light chain 25, 25. It becomes 50. Total 150 kilodalton. If there are 5, it becomes the largest in size, IgM. Okay. Let us come back to the quiz. Okay. Let's see who have answered it correctly. It was answered correctly by Satish and Shami. Good. Next question on your screen. Next question. Active immunity is obtained by through what? How is active immunity? It obtained by antibodies, weakened germs infection, natural resistance, none of these. What is going to provide you active immunity? We have talked about what is the difference between active and passive immunity. What is the difference between active and passive immunity? Yes? Okay. Ooh. Again wrong. Students, when the antibodies are ready-made, injected, it is going to provide passive immunity, which is for only short duration. For long duration, okay, when you are doing vaccination, lifetime, what is going to happen? Antigen will be injected, which will be weakened. Okay, a pathogen, weakened pathogen is going to be injected and your body is going to produce antibody. When your body is going to produce antibody, it is called active immunity. Only 3 people have answered it correctly. Let's see who have answered it correctly. Okay. Barefoot, Contessa, Lokesh, Sharmila. Good. Next question. Question number 4 on your screen. Which of the following glands is largest size at the birth but reduces in the size with aging? Pineal gland, pituitary gland, thymus gland or thyroid gland? Yes, good. It is thymus gland. There is an atrophy. Okay, the thymus gland after the birth, it will keep on reducing in size. Okay, and thymus glands is associated with T lymphocytes. Okay, let's see who have answered it correctly. Okay. Next question on your screen. How many variable segments are present in the basic structure of antibody molecule? In the basic structure of antibody molecule, how many are present? Okay. 4 are present. 4 are present. If you look into the antibody structure, again you have done a mistake. There are 2 heavy chain, 2 light chain, and both of this is the variable light chain, this is variable heavy chain. Similarly, there is variable light chain, variable heavy chain. So how many will become, how many are the variable segment? So 2 variable heavy chain, 2 variable light chain, answer become 4. Again, many of you done mistake. Okay. So try to analyze properly. Next question. Plasma cells are derived from where? Cytotoxic T cells, helper T cell, memory B cells, or memory T cells. From where you derive plasma cells? I was just talking about it. Try to answer. From where the plasma cells are derived? Let's see. Okay. Students, one very important characteristic of the acquired immunity is, adaptive immunity is, it is specific, it has a memory response. Okay. Now when the antigen comes for the first time, okay, there will be antibody production and the B lymphocytes are going to produce the antibodies, but for the secondary time, the secondary immune response, there are memory B cells, okay, which are going to produce the plasma cells, which will further produce the antibody. So in the plasma cell are going to produce the antibody, and who is playing a role in this? B cells. Which is the antibody mediated immunity? It is due to B lymphocyte, and memory B cells will help in for doing this function. Let's see who have answered it correctly. Okay, good. It was answered fastest by Mr. G. Okay, good. Next question. Which antibody is first released into the blood following an infection? Which antibody is going to release for the first during an infection? Okay, easy question. I hope you will answer it correctly. Which antibody is released into the blood following an infection? So following an infection, which antibody is going to release? Let's see. Who is going to answer it? No. Students, whenever there is going to be infection, the first antibody produced is IgM followed by IgG. I told you, the primary immune response, the first antibody produced will be IgM followed by IgG. In the secondary immune response, which will be very fast, there IgG will be more in the amount. So answer is IgM. Let's see who have answered it correctly. Okay, only one person have answered it correctly, Dhanush. Good. Next question on your screen. Characters of innate immunity are specificity, non-specificity, difference between self and non-self, retained memory. What is the characters of innate immunity? What are the characters of innate immunity? Innate immunity are good, non-specific. It is by birth and it is non-specific. Specific, difference between self and memory, these are characteristics of adaptive immunity. Let's see who have answered it correctly. Okay, all of you have answered correctly. Good. Okay. Next question. If the immune system property to distinguish self and non-self is lost due to genetic abnormality and it attacks self cells, then it lead to what? Now, there is going to be a genetic abnormality. When there is going to be a genetic abnormality, then what is it going to be happening? Is it an allergic response? It's going to be graft rejection, autoimmune disease, or active immunity. The word genetic abnormality is important over here. Good. Autoimmune diseases like rheumatoid arthritis is going to happen. Next question. Let's see who have answered it correctly. Okay, all of you have answered correctly. Good. Dhanush was fastest. He gets more points. Next question, students. Try to answer on your screens now. Immediate hypersensitivity, which result in release of histamine and other inflammatory substance, is mediated by. Immediate is going to be done by what? Let me see. Immediate hypersensitivity. Good. IgE, immunoglobulin E. IgE will go and bind to the mast cells, and the mast cells are going to release histamine and other histamine, serotonin, other inflammatory substances. Let us see who have done correct and wrong. Very good. Oh, top scorers have not done it well. Okay, good. Dhanush is coming up. Question number 11 on your screen. Which part of the body is known as police guard? Which part of the body is called as police guard? Yes. Tonsils, skin, liver, leukocytes. Police guard. No one have given the correct answer. No one have given the tonsils. Tonsils. Tonsils, secondary lymphoid tissue, where there is going to be interaction between the antibody with the antigen. They provide the secondary immune response, the secondary lymphoid organs, they are going to provide the interaction between the antigen with the antibodies. Okay, very big blunder, not given in the NCERT, so maybe you have done it. Okay, score remains same. We go to the next question. Okay. Which of the following is involved in first line of defense? Skin, mucus, HCl in stomach. Which is going to come in the first line of defense? Which is going to come in the first line of defense? Very good. Only few have answered. Students, innate immunity is the first line of defense. It is non-specific. It is by birth, and it is acting as a first line of defense. Okay. So apart from skin, mucus, physiological barriers, all these are first line of defense. Let us see who have answered it correctly. Okay. Good. Next question on your screen now. Which of the glands is often referred in relation with AIDS? Thyroid, thymus, adrenal, or pancreas? In acquired immunodeficiency, there is a particular gland which is being affected. Okay, what is that gland? Let me see who will answer it. No one have answered this also correct. Thymus, T lymphocytes are affected. T lymphocytes will be affected. So T lymphocytes is going to form in the thymus, primary lymphoid organ, bone marrow and thymus. All of you have done the mistake. Learn from your mistakes. This is the thing. Okay, score remain unchanged. Question number 14. On your screen now. Humoral immunity is due to what? What causes the humoral? B lymphocyte, T lymphocyte, both B and T lymphocyte or none of the above. What causes the humoral immunity? Yes, humoral immunity is due to what? B lymphocyte, T lymphocyte, both B and T lymphocyte or none of these. Let's see. Humoral immunity is the immunity due to B lymphocytes, and it is due to which the B lymphocytes are going to produce antibodies given in NCERT. Not both. T lymphocytes are going to provide cell mediated immunity. So both B and T lymphocyte is not the answer. Okay, lot of guesswork going on. Okay, Mr. G have answered it correctly. Don't know. Kindly write your name, Mr. G. Next question on your screen now. Anti-venom against the snake poison contain what? Anti-venom against the snake venom contains what? What does anti-venom contain? Venom is the poison. Against the poison is anti-venom. Okay? And what does anti-venom contain? I have discussed this in the class. In the demo classes I have discussed this. Don't do mistake. Very good. It contains antibodies. Not antigen antibody complexes. Antigen antibody complex will be formed inside the body. And snake venom snake anti-venom contains antibodies, ready-made antibodies. When the ready-made antibodies are injected, this kind of immunity is called passive immunity, and it is going to be for short time. Next question. So let's see who have analyzed it correctly. Okay. So Mr. G is leading it. Good. Next question. Question number 16 on your screen now. A person is injected with globulin against hepatitis. This is what? Artificially acquired passive immunity, artificially acquired active immunity, naturally acquired active immunity, or naturally acquired passive immunity. Okay, you try to analyze the question. It has a link with the previous question. A person is injected with globulin. What is globulin? Against hepatitis. Oh. Students, antibodies are going to be injected. What is globulin? Globulin is nothing but immunoglobulin, IgG. When the antibodies are injected from outside, it is active immunity, passive immunity. It is passive immunity. Okay, is it naturally coming antibodies or artificially injected? Artificially acquired passive immunity. Okay, next question. Let's see who have answered it correctly. Okay, good. Next question on your screen. Now, a person likely to develop tetanus is immunized by administering what? Dead germs, performed antibodies, wide spectrum antibiotics, or weakened germs. A person likely to develop tetanus is immunized by administering what? So in tetanus, in order to prevent the tetanus, the doctor is going to advise you to ask for a injection, and that is containing no ready-made antibodies. When you get a cut, a wound, then the doctor immediately asks you get a tetanus injection, right? So there are ready-made antibodies because it may cause you the pathogenicity. So ready-made antibodies are injected because if you wait for your own antibodies, it will take 2 weeks, and in 2 weeks it may lead to pathogenicity, okay, because of the pathogen. Let's see who have answered it correctly. Okay, only 2 people have answered correctly from the leaderboard. Okay, so next question. Tough competition between the first 4. Let's see who will answer it correctly. Allergen are, what are allergen? Yes, infectious and increase the secretion of IgG, non-infectious and increase the secretion of IgG, infectious and increase secretion of IgG, non-infectious and increase secretion of IgM. Oof, equal. Allergen, they do not cause disease, okay, they are non-infectious. However, the allergen, they causes allergy, and when the allergy is there, which antibody is secreted? IgE, which will go and bind to mast cells, and the mast cells are going to release the inflammatory chemicals like histamine and serotonin. Okay, again, many of you have done wrong. Okay. Fine. Now we have come to the last part of the question, and we are going to have a tough competition between the first 2, Mr. G and Sanjay Sri Krishna. Good. Let's see. Oh, we are going to end up the quiz. So Mr. G is the winner for the quiz. Okay. All of you try to analyze this chapter. Most of you have still not clear, okay, because you should understand some of the basics of immunology again, okay. So we have just told you about the in general overview and all. We have given you, when you have analyzed this thing, you can see that many of you are not able to answer still, okay. So you still need further preparation, and your preparation mainly it is lacking in what is active immunity, what is passive immunity, what is passive immunization, what is the difference between vaccination. So when ready-made antibodies are injected, like in tetanus, ready-made, so that is passive immunity. When antigen will be injected and the body is going to make antibody, that is the active immunity, which is there in the case of vaccination. Okay, we'll continue only up till here. So thank you everyone. So again, I will end up with the saying that our early bird registrations are there up till 10th of November 2020. Our batch is going to commence on 10th this thing. So there is a 50% discount, okay. That means almost you will be getting 1,000 rupees per subject for the registration, okay, for the 3 subjects. So come and register and get the benefit, okay. It is only going to be up till 10th November 2020. Okay, thank you everyone. Very well done. Mr. G, try to write your name, okay. We'll be able to analyze, okay. Thank you everyone.